Alrighty, fellas, good morning. Welcome back to the PokeMMO stream recap, your daily source of news, tips, tricks, information, and what's happening inside the PokeMMO community. It's a beautiful sunny day to play PokeMMO. Good morning to you all. We have a few things, good questions in chat. Congrats to Cannibalism for completing all 5 regions on his Iron Man account. That's a great point of progress, dude. Congrats. I did that recently as well. Someone also asked, are you planning on making a legendary guide for 2025? I'm assuming there's some new stuff. There is. I was confused when I heard Heatran was apparently available in a raid. Is that accurate? Yes. Heatran is the only permanent raid in PokeMMO. It is sort of the big, like, go-to PVM content people can prepare for. It's a really cool piece of content, very innovative, and I remember it took people a few days to beat it for the very first time when it released. It was a really big deal. I have my Legendaries Explained guide for 2024, and that guide has everything except for, I believe, Jirachi and Heatran. I could be missing something else, but I have a Legendary 2024 guide, and they kept adding Legendaries so often that it was hard to keep up, and I remember I wanted them to finish a prior event season to create a new one, and then I just never got around to it. There's a lot of guides and videos I always want to create, and it comes down to energy and time, and I just try to create as much content as I can every single day and then take it day by day. But I do, yeah, Legendary Guide 2025 should happen at some point. It is mostly just the previous, but it'll probably happen after this event season because I'm worried they'll add more. It wouldn't surprise me if we see more legendaries every single year, the same way they've been doing for the past 2 years. They've added new ones. So the previous legendary guide should have everything except for Heatran and Jirachi. Maybe it doesn't have Darkrai as well, but I should have separate guides on all 3 of those things as well. But it's a good question. It's a great question. Someone else asked, let's talk about incubators. I am at the point, I'm sure a lot of you guys know, I am no longer, don't worry, I'm no longer going to spend any more time discussing incubators and chump buckets, at least for the foreseeable future. I've gotten my points out. I've gotten my discussion across. I think it's really important when something happens that you perceive as negative. It's really important to critique it and offer positive solutions and changes and talk about it, right? But if you just do that same thing every single day and never make any positive changes, or like it's out of your control, well, at that point, you're just looping, right? So I don't want to be the person who's just looping. I'm pretty good about this usually. We're just going to move on. We've done our topic under discussion. You guys know my thoughts on it. Now it's time to just play the Iron Man and have some fun. That's where we're at. So good morning, everybody. Let's get over to the daily news, upcoming events. There is an event bright and early tomorrow. Let me make sure I have this over here. Well, first things first, dude, this is crazy. I feel like Spheal Team 6, aka this year's Spheal Team 7, which are different players, but like some of the same players. I feel like these players are fucking hungry because look at this, dude. This is the Shiny Wars leaderboard for PokeMMO. The first place team has 1,800 points. They are 500 points above second place. This is ludicrous. The score differential. I think that these players are fucking hungry to prove themselves. Last year, I know that last year's Field Team 6 just barely lost the previous year. Shiny, they got second place, and that got them. That really that hit them deep, and they were really upset about it. And they had in that year where they got second place in Shiny by like a few points, like 50 or less points. They had a player reach the driest streak in PokeMMO history, going 475k dry, as well as many players who went 150k dry. Not to excuse, oh, they should have won. I don't think that's fair to say or true. The team that beat them worked extremely hard and most likely deserved to win. At that point, anybody, but like that's how it goes. There's RNG and shiny hunting. It is what it is. Any team that wins Shiny Wars deserves to win at the end of the day. And what I'm seeing here is Spheal Team 7. The point is, they're fucking hungry. And I think they want to prove themselves because a lot of people were saying things like, oh, they weren't that good. Team Mister's not that good. And not that this team is all Team Mister, but a fair bit of it. There's a lot of Team Mister members that I'm rooting for. People like Fawn, people like Essence, I believe. People like Totes. Skitty, Ginger Matt, Kuroshi. There's a lot of Psycho. There's a lot of amazing big shunners here. Clue. So many shunners in here that I've shunted with in the past in different wars, and they're hungry is all I wanted to say, and they got to stay hungry, and this is so fucking impressive. Yeah, their lead over second place would be 33rd as a team. In other words, they are in the lead by more than 70 teams. Yeah, I don't know the math. I don't know the math, but it's just crazy. It's just they're hungry, man. They're hungry. Anyways, all right. New catch events, boys. Upcoming catch events. Sentret Spotlight, Wednesday the 23rd of July, 2 p.m. ET. This is tomorrow, so as you watch the stream recap, probably today, 2 p.m. ET. Kanto 5 Eyelid Meadow. I love this location. I've spent a lot of time here in the past. 1 hour to catch as many Sentret, Furt, Hoppip, and Togetic as possible. Nature Bonus Timid. And then there is a shiny Sentret up for grabs. Catch events are amazing if you've never done them. They're great for Iron Man accounts, great for main accounts, a great way to break up some monotony and have some fun along the way and have a chance for an overarching prize. And then we have the upcoming Beheeyem catch event as well. This is a great Iron Man catch event. I would guess that a lot of main accounts might not come to this event because they don't really care for shiny Beheeyem. It's not the greatest visual change, although I do love it as a very unique Pokemon. We come in peace. This is on the 27th of July at noon ET. Route 14 Unova, Beheeyem, Drifblim, Jigglypuff, Mienfoo, Goldug. All these details can be found on the PokeMMO forums as well. First place, shiny Elgium. And there you go. That's the upcoming events. And I'll see you guys with more stream recap stuff. I see some people talking about the Gamer 2020 stuff. The biggest thing that I always tell people whenever anybody gets banned in PokeMMO is all you can do is say, I hope that if they didn't break the rules, they get unbanned. And if they did break the rules, they stay banned. The problem, this happens with anybody regardless of the person, right? And I always say the problem in PokeMMO is that when people get banned, there's not really bot farms that exist in PokeMMO. I've explained this many times, but a lot of people still don't know, right? I can't. People are saying that apparently there was a VOD of that person botting on stream. I don't know if that's true. Yeah, the biggest thing I recommend to people is when someone gets banned and they say I didn't do it, you've got to remain neutral. You can't be the person. Oh, they for sure. He's my friend. He for sure didn't do it. Like, there's no way. I know. Like, you never know. Friends can do. Humans are humans. They make mistakes, and that's okay. Doesn't mean you should stop being friends with them. It's a great example, right? But at the same time, you can't be like, oh, he for sure did it. But you also can't be like, oh, he for sure didn't do it. When someone gets banned, what I always say, once again, it's just, I hope that whatever happens, I don't know. That is between the devs and the player. And the biggest thing is, if the devs ever are false banning people, number one, what's the why? What's the benefit there? Why would they ever false ban someone? It's just deleting players from their game. It hurts their revenue, especially someone who like spends a lot of money. Why would they want to false ban someone who spends a lot of money in the game? You know, that's another great like logic check. That like they wouldn't want to. If anything, they would want to not do that at all costs, right? So they don't want to ban whales, right? And then the other thing is just, yeah, it just sucks. I'm getting lost on track, so apologies. It's just a shitty situation is the main thing. Whenever someone gets banned, it's sad, whether they deserve it or not. And you can't really I recommend not throwing your hat in the ring too aggressively, because you just never know. And the hope is with Discord logs and texts and all the logging information that we have right now, it's really hard to keep stuff secret, right? When like government texts are getting leaked, I bet you that if a PokeMMO dev was improperly banning people or there was some drama like that, it would come out. My guess is that stuff like this just comes out. That is the ultimate defeater of most conspiracy theory stuff these days. It's like, most stuff was just gonna come out, man. It's just hard to keep anything a secret like that, but that's just, I could be wrong. Let's go ahead and jump into PokeMMO and actually play the game, have some fun. There's been too much drama recently in the PokeMMO scene, man. Let's just have fun, play this beautiful game that I love so much, and jump into it. Does PokeMMO not pull changes like OSRS? Dude, yes, they don't. And I wish, I think the OSRS polling system is very flawed. I like that it exists and I like it in theory, and that's a whole like very opinionated, like very strong discussion. I don't like that in old school RuneScape you can vote on the polls and affect the permanent future of the game by only having, is it 450 total levels? You could play RuneScape for like 2 to 3 hours and then vote on the future of the game. That's kind of crazy to me. And I'm not saying you should need like 1,000 hours or whatever, you know, something crazy, but hopefully at least a few hundred. Like when it comes to an MMO, when it comes to affecting the future of the game, hopefully you would need some understanding. There's a reason why the age limit to vote in the US is 18, because they expect you to live in the world a bit before you can vote, you know? So I'm hoping, I would be down to see a poll system come to PokeMMO to either do two things. Number one, the problem is with polls, you can't just do hours played, because I always give the example of, I shouldn't be allowed to vote on PvP polls, right? I have over 10,000, well, there you say 500, but over 10,000 hours in the game in total. I don't actively play PvP. A person like me, even with 10,000 hours, should not be allowed to vote in PvP bowls because I don't play that part of the game. I'm uneducated in that part of the game. Why would you let me? That feels insane to me personally. Now, if the poll was just a social poll, like I did recently with the straw poll, where I ran like, hey, how do you guys feel about shiny rates increasing, or how do you guys feel about Gen 6? Or like, I really wish the PokeMMO devs just started running social polls just to see where the community stands. I feel like that would help them so much. It would help them create a better game. It would help them with their connection to the players. It would help them without a lot of the hate and hoopla and, you know, bad stuff you have to deal with. I would love to see them just run social polls and see. And I try to do that as a creator, as, you know, the top English creator. Running those polls is really important. Getting that data of seeing where the community stands is crucial to understanding where the masses are, and not just listening to a loud vocal minority, or, you know, vice versa, right? So I might try to start running more polls and like actually linking the straw poll properly, wink wink. So we'll see in the future. I think it's really important data collection. I know I've probably talked about this many times, but yeah, someone said an official Iron Man mode would be great. I am genuinely pushing to the point where I think it's like so important. I think an official Iron Man mode would allow them to keep doing updates that make the game easier in certain ways, but still have a mode where hardcore players can play at an increased difficulty. Yeah, like now more than ever, it is crucial. Exactly. Now more than ever, it is crucial to have an Iron Man mode. Tedious, what are you doing here, bro? When is UIM? I thought about doing an Ultimate Iron Man in PokeMMO. It would actually be like really fucking interesting. So a UIM, for those who don't know, would be a Pokemon account that would not have access to the PC. So you would have to almost always leave a slot to like catch wild mons, or like leave slots for breeds. You would have to keep a catching Breloom in your party to catch Pokemon. You'd have to keep at least one. You'd probably cut a Typhlosion from your Jimmy Run team. You wouldn't do this strategy for your Jimmy Run team because it wouldn't be worth it. Or you would have to for a good example of this is the type of shit UIMs would do on old school RuneScape. Imagine if every single time you wanted to do a Jimmy Run, you had to go catch a wild Torkoal every morning and with Explosion and go catch a Cottony with Tailwind. That's the kind of shit that Ultimate Iron Man do on RuneScape, and it's the kind of shit that you'd have to do on PokeMMO. I think it'd be really interesting. It'd be really, really interesting to have an Ultimate Iron Man mode in PokeMMO. It would make the gameplay so much more tedious. It sounds insane. It's the kind of shit you would do in RuneScape, man. It would be really fucking interesting. It'd be really, really interesting. It would totally change the metas, totally change the play styles. On an Ultimate Iron Man style of account, the thing that matters the most is your path. If you take the wrong path and you do something too early, so for example, let's say you get, you know, your Typhlosion too early and it has to sit in your party, you've wasted a party slot now for possibly hundreds of hours. That can be a downside, you know? You have to plan hundreds of hours out from the start on an Ultimate Iron Man. That would be the ultimate goal. If PokeMMO ever released an Iron Man mode and an Ultimate Iron Man mode in the same update, and I had to start from scratch, I might create an Ultimate Iron Man. I would love to try to be the first like Ultimate Iron Man to do certain things on PokeMMO. I feel like it'd be super, super interesting. Ooh, if you were to make an Iron Man mode for PokeMMO, how would you treat obtaining hidden ability Pokemon? Would it still just be through RNG, through alphas, or would you make it something else? I am a big fan of, if they make the Iron Man mode official, I don't want them to make things easier for Iron Man, right? If someone is playing an Iron Man account, they're doing it because they want that restriction. If they make the Iron Man game mode official, I'd heavily prefer if they actually don't balance the game around Iron Man. That is a huge, you know, consistent opinion of mine. However, I've said before, I would be okay with them. I like the idea of there being a very small chance to randomly encounter hidden ability Pokemon in the wild. I would love to see a nerf to alphas. Maybe make alphas only spawn once per IRL day as opposed to 3 per IRL day, but then maybe extend the length, because the biggest concern is, oh, if you only have 1 spawn per day, sometimes you miss out on it. And that's, I mean, you're gonna miss, sometimes you can't let FOMO balance everything, but you also don't want people to feel so bad. I think if you extend the like, if you make the alpha last like 3 to 6 hours, right, and then only have 1 spawn per day, I like that a lot more than the current system, what's doing to the current market. So there's that, as well as, so there's changes I would want not related to the Iron Man. Does that make sense? I don't want them to I don't want them to balance things around the Iron Man. But I do like the idea of, if you catch 1,000 Magikarps, the odds of at least one of them, or even maybe 100, like a 1% chance, of Wild Mons having hidden ability access, I think would be really, really cool. I think that'd be super valid. Maybe less than that, maybe 1 in 300. 1 in 100 would mean one hidden ability Pokemon caught every hour and a half, roughly-ish. I think I don't know the exact number, but you could balance it out in a certain way where I would love to see hidden ability Pokemon findable in the wild at a very rare rate and have them not solely tied to alphas, because I do think it creates a few problems. Chance to get hidden ability in swarms. Maybe that would be a really cool small buff to swarms. Give it a small hidden ability chance. I'm so down for that. I love that idea. Yes, dude, shout out to Soul. This man finally got his shiny FEEBAS. I believe he was one of the main creators, if not the creator or inspiration, for the FEEBAS Pond Discord, where you can go to track where the FEEBAS tile is at and shiny hunt it more effectively in PokeMMO. Definitely check out the FEEBAS Tile Pond Discord. It's a great Discord. And he got shiny FEEBAS after 890 days of hunting. This man was at FEEBAS for like 2.5 years. And I remember him talking about like starting the hunt on stream 2.5 years ago, and now it's the kind of beautiful arc you keep tabs on, and you keep the player, and like you want to see them finish that grind, and like you keep it in the back of your mind. And it's one of the most beautiful parts of PokeMMO shiny hunting is in appreciating other people's journeys. You know, that's so crazy, dude. That's congratulations, Soul, man. That is a beautiful completed shunt. Congratulations. Dude, this is disgusting. Congrats to Main. I love shiny coughing. It's a beautiful shiny. Lax is not the best nature, but it's also like somewhat usable on Wheezing, hilariously. But look at the stats. What? 27 plus in 5 stats on a wild caught shiny is craziness. Beautiful IVs, man. That is very, very rare. I love the color of shiny coughing and wheezing, dude. Super omega congratulations, dude. How many people have been playing Pokemon for a long time in chat have gotten baited by the new sweet scent number? So now it shows you how many sweet scents you have left to use. So like 1 means 1 sweet scent left, as opposed to like 6 PP or whatever it used to show. And that makes a lot more sense in my opinion. But how many of you see 2 sweet scent left and then go heal? Because prior to the update, if you saw 2 sweet scent, it meant you were done. It meant you were out of PP, because you would have 32 PP, but it would tick down like 5 or whatever. So I have gone to heal so many times with this number at 2 on just not used to the muscle memory. Yeah, it's really, dude, a lot of the PokeMMO boomers have a lot to readjust to with the new update, which is how, you know, it is how it is, right? All right, there was just a big announcement made by Enzo on the PokeMMO forums. Apparently, people are abusing a certain strategy with the live leaderboards in Shiny Wars, and they are going to be cracking down on it. Enzo says, hello, we notice players are abusing the live leaderboard to make it appear as if their team has less points by moving the shiny monsters to other accounts. We found this to be unsportsmanlike and defeats the purpose of the live leaderboard. People are trying to hide information. Dude, leave it to shiny hunters. If they can find a way to try to gain an advantage, they will do it to unhealthy degree sometimes. We want to promote a transparent competition with its implementation. All valid shiny monsters must be stored on the registered characters. Monsters that are not moved back to the registered character before July 25th will not be counted. That's in 3 days. 3 days, the leaderboard will actually be up to date. Wow. Will not be counted even if they were valid. We mentioned on numerous occasions to keep the shiny monster registered characters. This was not referring to just make sure to have them there, but during the whole competition. Yeah, people are trying to abuse. I respect them for trying. Yeah, I respect them for trying, but I don't like stores being... If you need to keep your store secret to like try to get a leg up at Shiny Wars, like, come on, man. Like, what are you doing? I would just thug it out, man. Just play the event, you know? Yeah, what a sandbag. That is really, really interesting to see. I'm curious to see how scores update then coming up in 3 days. I hope Spheal Team 7 does not get too sleepy or let, you know, pull the gas up, because people could be trying to making them get a little too overconfident. Making someone overconfident in a competition like this is one of the best ways to like try to take the lead, and it's fucked up, but it's almost a respectful strategy. But I'm glad the devs are cracking down on it and being like, hey, let's keep it transparent. Interesting, dude. Just daily news, daily weird stuff happening in the PokeMMO Shiny Wars scene, man. If you guys have been enjoying the stream and the stream recap, it is important to ask in the middle of the videos as well as the end, like the video. It helps out tremendously. It allows me to be here and supports the algorithm a ton. It allows PokeMMO to spread. YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Amazon Prime is a great free way to support. You know, YouTube memberships, Twitch Prime, Twitch subs, gifted subs, PayPal, and Venmo donations if you want to go above and beyond and support me. If my content has earned it from you, that's very important. If you've watched enough videos and the guides have been helpful to getting you into PokeMMO or entertaining you while you play PokeMMO, it means the world to me. Never required, but it allows me to be here and also helps me make as much content as possible. And I really appreciate all the support you guys give me. All your names are mentioned at the end of every video and every stream. I like to throw up the all the subs. So thank you guys so much. HelloFresh will be first link in the description as well. If you want to sign up and get some awesome food, you get a discount using my link, 50% off, as well as it's the best way to support me. So it's a win-win if you're interested in trying a meal kit like HelloFresh. I'm a big fan of them. If it fits your lifestyle and you want to learn some cooking stuff, cook something for the partner. I love cooking meals with HelloFresh for my wife. It's a really nice, cute little date night. Check it out. Talking about a good quality of life update for PvP, Spidget. I totally agree with this. Spidget was saying, I'd love to have a cancel button, but I've also played Pokemon Showdown for like 10 years. I think a cancel button, maybe I'm wrong. I assume that doesn't exist in traditional Pokemon. I would love a cancel button in Pokemon PvP, or PokeMMO PvP. Also, it could help. I don't know if it would be amazing. It could help to some degree if you're worried about stream snipers. If you time it, you could like it's anti-snipe technology. And I can't imagine, dude, every time I stream PvP, I don't get paranoid about many things. I get paranoid about stream snipers, and it's a big, streaming PvP for Pokemon must be so hard. All the stream snipers, like all the to fight through, that must be so annoying, dude. All the backseating, I get tilted and I like shiny hunt, I get backseated all the time without being asked for it. All the backseating you get in PvP, like, oh, I would have done this, Mr. Streamer. Like, oh, that is, oof. Spidget gets it. That is the worst. So I would love some anti-stream snipe technology. Also, just for the embedment of the game, the fantastic quality of life update, in my opinion. The cancel button in PvP. If you click a move, you can go back. I would love to see that, man. I love that idea. Okay, everybody's been asking me to weigh in my thoughts on the new official Pokemon Mega Dragonite is out. I mean, he's goofy. He's like, he's all they did was throw on big wings. That's it. They just gave him. And the meme is, so I'm a fan of goofy Pokemon. They literally just put giant white wings on his head for the most part. Yes, there's little white wings on. He has like shoulder pads, I guess. This picture is very pretty, but it's still goofy. I like it. I mean, it's goofy. If you like goofy Pokemon, you probably like this. If you wanted a serious, fierce Dragonite, you're probably disappointed. We don't have too many angles, yeah. At least from what I've seen. It's just, all I can say is that it's goofy, but I like goofy, so I don't mind it. Yeah, there's one more picture. This is an important one. One sec. Look this up. Dragonite.png. We do it live, boys. One sec. I actually really like the tail, to be fair. Maybe I'm a fucking loser. I actually do really like the big orb on the tail. Yeah, Dragonite's always been kind of a friendly, goofy mon anyway, so I actually do feel like it kind of makes sense for his alpha, for his mega, sorry. It's goofy. I can understand. If someone told me they hated it, I would get it. If someone told me they loved it, I would get it. I don't, I'm a boring, I don't have a whole lot to weigh in on current day Pokemon. I don't play it, I don't play it, so, at all. I think it's cute. The wings are pretty goofy. You have to enjoy goofy content to enjoy it, but it is what it is, man. Dude, this hurts to look at, man. I literally was like, oh yeah, what's I know that 31 HP, 31 attack, okay. Those Dittos are 6K. They're like at the same price as a Shido, because, whatever. That's not a good sign of a healthy market. But okay, 31 speed Dittos, the most valuable Ditto IV, usually worth a bit more. It's the same price. It's 6K. So for those who don't know, that's actually insane. There is no reason to sell a 31 IV Ditto on the market unless it has like a nature or like a reason that its stats are or where it's worth more than 6K. But if you were selling Dittos for 6K on the GTL, I recommend stopping. And what you should do is just sell them in boxes, because you'll literally make more profit, which is really fucked up. Because if you sell a Ditto for 6K on the GTR, 6,200, you're losing 1,000 Pokeyen to the listing fee, right? Whereas if you sell a Ditto in a box, a random Shitto, and you sell them for like, if you could sell them for more than 5,300 a piece, or if you're selling for 6,200, it might be kind of worth it, but it slows down the sales. If you're selling a Ditto with 1x31 for 6K, that is the same as if you were selling a Ditto in a box for 5K, because you lose the 1K from the listing fee, if that makes sense. So you'd rather just sell Ditto boxes faster, and you make the same amount of money. It's just really crazy. It's really, the market is really rough, man. It's really sad. I really hope we see an update this event season to either nerf. I think it's got to be an alpha nerf. I don't know what else it could be that's affecting the market this severely. I mean, the lack of demand for good IV mons is definitely part of it, and hopefully raids and stuff will help that. We need permanent raids, and we need, in my opinion, we need permanent raids. And then in my opinion, we need a alpha nerf. And I think those have to come this event season. If they don't, I was already concerned. At that point, it's a shrug. Like, what do you even do, you know? All right, but I have a metric shit ton of XP trading to do on the Iron Man account. That's what I'm going to go ahead and call it for today, fellas. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed another PokeMMO stream recap. I'm sorry if I was a little more spacey today. I feel like I was really not concise with my words. I've been kind of sick this week and just like lofty, so apologies for that. Thank you for your patience with that. I really do appreciate it. Like the video if you enjoyed it, dislike if you didn't, subscribe to the channel for PokeMMO videos every single day, follow me on Twitch for streams Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. ET, Discord's down below if you're interested in that. There's a catch event tomorrow, check that out. And if you want to go above and beyond and support my content, YouTube memberships, I already asked you, you know what, I'm not gonna do it again. Have a great day. Good luck in your shiny hunts, good luck in PvP, good luck on shiny wars, whatever you're doing, good luck on it in PokeMMO. Have a great one. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace, Reno. Yo, what's up? Outro Patrouski here, and I wanted to take this time to say thank you to everyone who goes above and beyond and supports my channel. Your names are all listed here. You make it possible for me to make helpful and mildly entertaining content for the game that I love, and make it available for free for everyone to enjoy. Thank you so much for allowing me to even be here.